1066. Duke William of Normandy and his army have smashed through southern England from the coast to the capital, defeating Harold Godwinson at the Battle of Hastings and securing London in time to be crowned King William I on Christmas Day. Fast forward 30 years, the White Tower looms over London, the biggest and most expensive building the capital had ever seen. Why did the Normans go to such lengths to build it? Let's get the scoop. Welcome to The Scoop. The past is a foreign country, and we're invading it. I want to know why the Normans built the White Tower, a scary stone monster that bossed the London skyline like a game of angry Minecraft. Our detective, Franklin Detective, is live on the scene. Frank, what have you got for us?
I got a lot of anxiety is what I got.
I'm looking for historical evidence, Frank. What have you been doing this past hour?
I've been snooping around this crazy joint, but look, there's modern signs everywhere. There's these little windows that have been filled in so nobody can see out. It's a historical mess. How are we supposed to know what life was like 1,000 years ago? Were these radiators here? Did King William come in and warm his hands on these after a fun day out killing Anglo-Saxons?
This is why they fired you from the police department, isn't it?
It's okay, Jez. I've got this.
What a relief. Our expert archaeologist, Mindiana Bones. Talk to me. What's old and what's new in this great white shark of a tower?
Well, the radiators were not part of the original plan. We know that the foundations and the footprint of the White Tower have stayed basically the same since it was built. These have lasted because William chose the site carefully. It sits on a small hill, giving a height advantage, and it's right next to the River Thames, a powerful position because military and trade routes relied heavily on water transport.
Thank you, Mindiana, our archaeologist bringing some actual brains to the show.
Hey!
So, the White Tower's stayed in basically the same shape and place for nearly 1,000 years because William fancied its well-fit location. Let's get more from The Scoop's military historian, Daniela Frost, coming live from a staircase.
Not just any staircase, this is a military marvel. This is the only top-to-bottom highway in the whole of the White Tower. Any invaders would have to come single file, round and round the staircase, and then BAM! Intense stab to the face with a Norman sword.
OK, maybe a little less violence for our younger...
Look at these high-up sentry walkways where Normans could see trouble from afar.
Good, better.
And these openings where Norman archers might have shot at invaders below with the latest high-tech bows, crushing their internal organs with sharpened arrowheads to the gut.
Oh boy.
Military might was the name of the game in post-Conquest England. Daniela Frost out. Bish bash bosh.
So, the White Tower was a formidably fearsome fortification for ferocious fighting, built both for defence with its narrow snake of a staircase and for attack by the archers stationed inside. Mindiana, was it all about military conquest?
Not entirely. William didn't even begin to build the tower until the 1070s, perhaps 10 years after the conquest, yet he still managed to maintain authority over London without it. This area would have had other fortifications which were cheaper to build, likely made of wood.
Oh, well then why did the Normans build the White Tower if they were already succeeding in London? You're no closer than when we were talking to Frank, and he knows nothing.
Hey!
Sorry. Actually, am I sorry? Let's go to a special report from our cultural historian, Lucian Dursley.
Culture is cool! I'm in the beautiful chapel of St. John, built on the White Tower's eastern side. So, people coming up the Thames towards London would see the rounded chapel wall first and foremost, showing William had money, taste in the latest expensive Norman architecture, and even the power of God on his side.
Hear that, Daniela? Lucian's taken your bows and arrows and raised you God.
Bit annoyed, but fair play. God's a bit of a legend.
And these grand, intimidating halls would look different every time for banquets, councils, and meetings of court. Visitors never knew what they're walking into. Now, roll the digital video. Norman designs were daring and even a bit devious. The White Tower looked like it had 3 stories from the outside, but only had 2 lower floors indoors. These powerful mind games clearly paid off in the way people talk about the White Tower. It gets called not just a castle, but the tower in documents from the early 12th century using the Latin word turris and Anglo-Saxon tur.
No, too much. You are glorious.
Well, Jez, just remember, culture is cool.
Are you trying out a catchphrase?
If I was trying out a catchphrase, do you think it would catch on?
Absolutely not. So, we've looked at different points of view on why the Normans built the White Tower, its strategic location, its military effectiveness, and its psychological and symbolic power. But what do you think of all of this? And how would you answer the question, why did the Normans build the White Tower? Thanks for watching The Scoop, turning every mystery into history. Apart from Frank, who's just a total bin.
Hey!
Not sorry.